organized, and it needs to have follow-up and follow-through on a consistent basis, particularly going into a budget season. Thank you.
Thank you. For seat 4, Ms. Gillis will go first, and the question is number 2. What solutions do you believe are available to fund whatever wastewater program Islamorada decides to implement, and what is the best way to move forward until such funding is provided?
Can you repeat the second half?
Okay. Number 3.
Just repeat the whole thing if you like.
Okay. Well, I had to find the question again.
Sorry.
What solutions do you believe are available to fund whatever wastewater program Islamorada decides to implement, and what is the best way to move forward until such funding is provided?
Thank you, Barry. I believe the solutions for our wastewater is to take it to Key Largo. I think it's the best answer for everybody. It ensures quality of life. It will help increase the water quality because it will meet a much higher standard than the on-site plants. It's an expensive venture. It's an expensive venture no matter what you do. Moving forward, though, I think we can, now that we've put an assessment in place where we can get the designs in place, then we can stagger the assessments and wait on some of that grant money that we've been promised. And we've got money coming in the legislation. There's $200 million coming in the legislation for all of the keys, and of course we'll get our share of it. The Army Corps still has money for us. And we can stagger the sections as that money becomes available and complete a section. You can't tear up the whole village at once. First of all, you're not going to want the whole village tore up at one time, so we'll do a section at a time and try to keep it as organized as possible for that. I truly believe in moving forward to Key Largo as a strong plan. We've been able to find some money through U.S. Rural Water to encourage regional plants.
Time. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't see the 30 seconds.
Mr. Johnson, would you want me to repeat the question?
No.
Go ahead.
No, I think your question addressed funding solutions. What I think I just heard from my opponent was that the only sure funding solution is our own money with staggered assessments, and I am not for that. I believe that of the possible funding solutions, many of them have been dangled in front of us. Even the latest legislative initiative shows $200 million to be given out whenever the state may have it, and of course the state's $3.5 billion in debt. The other one that the state alludes to as a funding solution is the state revolving fund, which is a loan, not a fund. Basically, the citizens still have to pay for it. The federal grant money has always been dangled out in front of us. It comes out in little dribbles. Now I believe that we're looking at $6 million for a $187 million program. That doesn't work. So I think when you get into funding solutions, the best that we could do is say to the state of Florida, look, we need the $200 million to be distributed within Monroe County, and we really will have a difficult time going forward until we get the $200 million or until we get at least a substantial share of that funding to address Islamorada's needs. Other than that, I think viable on-site systems would be an alternative if we have to pay the whole load.
Thank you. That concludes round 1. For round 2, we'll start with seat 2. And question 5. This one, let's see, would be for Mr. Purdo.
Cheryl, may I ask a question? Are you holding up the 30 seconds and the 15-second cards these days?
They asked us not to.
Are you having difficulty seeing the clock? Are you guys having trouble seeing the clock? Okay. We'll go ahead. We'll hold the signs up in addition to having a clock.
Yeah, we know exactly.
Oh, you turned 30 when you started.
I got it.
Okay.
You got it. We don't start until it's 30.
Mr. Purdo, this is question 5. Elaborate on your approach to the environment through such methods such as waste management, recycling, water reuse, etc.
I made a mistake. This is the same question they answered previously. That's a 3. Sorry, I screwed that up. That's my fault. All my fault. My apologies. My numbers are hard to read. That's my fault.
That was a good question, Mr. Purdo, but that wasn't the right one. Here we go. We're going to start over. Question 3. Okay, Mr. Purdo.
I'm listening.
In these difficult economic times, what is your business plan for Islamorada, not only to survive, but also to grow and prosper?
Well, right now, the business plan, we don't have one. At least this council doesn't have one. We started a project 5 years ago in North Plantation Key, and these poor people have been suffering for over 5 years, and we don't have $1.3 million to bail them out. I mean, this village is broke, so we have no plan in place right now. We do have to take short steps here because I don't believe that we can go forward with a sewer plan now until we finish phase 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I just firmly believe that we cannot afford to spend any more money. We have a very, very high-priced staff. We have Hazer and Sawyer, who we're paying $100,000, a potential of $100,000 a month to, for design. They haven't designed a thing. We've got a village manager that we're paying with perks upwards of $130,000 a year. So we have to start cutting back. We have to start managing our money. We have to start assisting the people in this community that have been suffering for the last 5 years. And not only North Plantation Key, but now Tahiti Harbor's got problem, Wren Street's got problems, so our whole sewer plan in place just isn't working, and we don't have the money to even fix it, so we have no plan in place at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Lindsay, you want me to ask the question again?
Yes, and that's for me,
Oh, okay.
right?
Well, that's a natural mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Question 3. In these difficult economic times, what is your business plan for Islamorada, not only to survive, but also to grow and prosper?
Every year, of course, the Village of Islamorada sets a budget. It's based on our mission statement that it is comprised of 4 parts. And every year we receive figures from the tax assessor, which gives us a basis on which to formulate a plan. And of course, we start with goal setting and priorities and a plan of how to achieve those goals. And our budget is comprised of many areas. One area I particularly like is, what are we going to do with our infrastructure funds? We also have an enterprise budget for example, the marina, and that is supposed to be self-sufficient. Overall, we have about $36 million to spend, and obviously that gives us lots of choices. And I believe that there has been a lack of participation, but part of it is timing, and the timing is not set by us on council. We get the numbers, and we must set a millage rate by September. And of course, our citizens are welcome to participate in the budget workshops that we hold and hear all the same opportunities that we hear, and to give us their feedback. And I believe that we actually actively seek that input by talking to our neighbors and friends.
Thank you. The next seat is seat 3. And the first person is Mr. Phillipson. Oh, you caught on what I'm doing.